Okay, so I think we're going live. I believe we're live
Ooh,
on
yeah, on
now.
YouTube.
This is so cool. I didn't know I could do that. Okay, so Peter, I'm so happy to have you here. And this is
we're going live. I
hold on, let me
believe we're
just turn
live.
this
Ooh, yeah,
off
on
here.
YouTube.
This is so cool. I didn't know I could do
Okay,
that.
there you go. Okay,
Okay, so Peter, I'm so
hold
happy
on.
to have you here.
How do I
And this is
turn this
live.
off? Okay, there it is. Okay,
Awesome.
there. Anyways, okay, so I'm so glad that you're here today. So Peter, you guys, by the way, Peter Wang, right? That's how you say your last name. Okay, Peter is the brand community manager for Intel. And we were just chatting a little bit about TikToks and Reels and all the social media fun out there. And he gave me some amazing advice. So I've invited him to come speak with us today. I think it'll be really powerful for a lot of entrepreneurs or anyone out there who's doing their side hustles or whatever. So welcome, Peter. I'm so glad to have
Thank you. Thank you.
I know we've been connected for a little bit. So it's really, really nice to have you here. Share with us a little bit about you and what you're up to. And I'm just going to share with my Instagram family that we're live here too.
Yeah, no problem. So I currently work at Intel as a brand community manager. I basically I help direct a lot of the I would say 98% of the TikToks that are on the Intel channel. I also help with Twitter responses, but most of my time and energy is around facilitating Intel's TikTok.
Yeah.
And a lot of this comes down to Intel wanting to reach out to more Gen Z, and TikTok is the platform to do that. So I have been I'm in a very unique position to go around going to do this, because I actually started using TikTok around 2018. The last time I was in China, actually, my
I didn't know
aunt.
it was around for that long.
TikTok has actually been around since 2016. From 2016 to 2017, they were called Musical.ly.
Oh, that's
And
right. That's right. It transitioned, right? I
yeah,
remember that.
exactly. And then Musical.ly was bought out by ByteDance at around beginning of 2018. TikTok was available to Chinese audiences as early as like 2017. It became available in 2018. And so I guess I was an early adopter.
Yeah, you are. I'm a very slow, resistant adopter for sure in the realm of TikTok. And yeah, I'm so curious because you're talking about like Gen Z and all that. Tell me a little bit about that because I feel really old talking about this. And this might actually explain a little bit of my own resistance.
So the lot of it shouldn't be any news to anyone that the younger generation typically is the trendsetters. We saw this when we like. Well, I don't want to put you in the same category as me, because I don't know if you're a millennial or not. But as are you?
When's a millennial cutoff before I speak?
My age, 1986 is I think, or no, the cutoff is actually 1987.
Okay, I think I'm like on the cusp, so I can go either way on the day, depending on the day, on my mood. Yeah.
So I think your label is called a Zennial.
Oh, I'm a Zennial. Okay.
Sorry, no, not Zennial. That's Gen Z millennial cutoff. It's called an Xennial.
Okay.
Yeah, where you're like you can either be a Gen X or you could be a millennial depending on your mood.
Right. Right now I'm in total grandma mood because as you probably know, I just started taking TikTok a little bit more seriously. And then, I've been thinking about this a lot because I had a lot of resistance, but when I really look at case studies like, Blockbuster, who never hopped on the, technology train and they got basically run over by Netflix. I'm like, okay, let's not be Blockbuster. So that was my thought, pattern here. But yeah. So yeah, share with us. Sorry, I need to cut you off.
Yeah, no problem. So millennials got to be trendsetters in the form of Instagram and Facebook. Now the the bar is now shifted towards Gen Z, and they are promoting platforms like TikTok, like Discord, and like Twitch.
Mm.
So these three apps, and I mean, I could talk about YouTube Shorts as well. YouTube Shorts. If I could put my money on another platform that's going to blow up, I would put my money on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
I think
And
YouTube
it's
Shorts.
not because you're live on YouTube, right?
No, it's because
you don't want to get banned.
well, I don't want to say because we're live. I'm not going to say it, but I have heard that the TikTok creator platform has, well, your people as creators have found out that they can make more money with AdSense versus the creator marketplace.
Oh,
And that's why YouTube is starting to get a lot more love from the Gen Z audience.
got it.
Also, YouTube is a platform that will never go away. Like,
I agree. I love YouTube because it's like evergreen content. You can search for it forever, and you never know which one of your videos can go viral at any time for whatever reason. So I love that.
Exactly. And I want to point out to any of your followers who are more active on YouTube, they're going to have a lot easier of a time grasping TikTok, because TikTok and YouTube are very similar. I would say TikTok and YouTube are more similar than comparing TikTok to Instagram, which a lot of people tend to do.
Got it. So I guess one of the things I'm hearing you say is one of the mistakes that we might be making is like, we got to understand a little bit of like the similarities, we got to bank on them. And then the differences, we got to be not tone deaf to it, because that's exactly how I feel right now. I feel very tone deaf to TikTok.
I would say if for anyone that wants to create content on TikTok, here's a few like really, really easy steps. One, before creating any piece of content, I would recommend everyone to go into TikTok and just browse around, scroll around. That wouldn't be too hard to do, because the app is really, really good at pulling your attention for like 2 hours or more. So definitely go there and find out who else is creating the content that you want to create. Find people who are doing it really well. Find other creators who don't have a lot of the views, and try to see if you could compare, or you could figure out why it is that that person A is getting better results, person B is not getting better results. I think that's a very, very important strategy. Also, try to figure out who you're trying to target your audience, like target your content to. TikTok and YouTube have a very similar concept of niches, and that's a really, really good way for any small-time creator to blow up with. The cool thing about SVFPs or SFVPs, I'm calling it short form video platforms, and this is going to incorporate YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, and IG Reels. So any vertical video platform that is short form scrolling, they all kind of have this very similar attributes. The biggest attribute is know your niche. If you can niche your audience to one specific word, try to niche it even further, because the more specific you target your message to, the quicker you're able to create more engagement around your videos. And that's a really key difference between creating content for TikTok versus creating content for any other platform that isn't YouTube. It's that, so if you want to compare TikTok and Instagram, there, frankly, to be honest, there wasn't a lot of engagement with Instagram. Instagram was a platform that really was about the creator itself, the channel owner, whereas TikTok, their focus is shifted it's still focused on the channel creator. However, there's a lot more room for participation, whether you're jumping on a trend, responding to a video, or creating some kind of activity for everyone within a niche or within TikTok to do.
Interesting. Yeah, I can totally see that now, but until you pointed that out, I don't think that's something I would have picked up right away. About TikTok. Like, yeah, there's definitely more rooms for interaction and like you can do a duet, you can do like
Exactly.
all those fancy things I'm still getting used to. Really quickly, I love this tip that was so simple but powerful. Tell me about the watermark because I still like this is blowing my mind. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. So with TikTok, you get a chance to share your videos. You get to share them directly as a message. You can put them on your stories, or you could download. Before I get into all of that, I want to talk about the algorithm itself because this is really important. TikTok is different from Instagram in a one key way. If you have 0 followers, and you compare your video to have someone who has 1 million followers. When you publish your most recent video, both videos will be shown to the exact same amount of people. This is
wait. Can you say that again? Okay. So when you publish your videos with no followers on TikTok, your videos will still be shown to a lot of people.
Just not a lot of people, to the same amount of people.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, I call this it's cool and it's frustrating. It's double-edged sword, but it's a really, really cool way to kind of have the focus be more on your content versus your channel. So this is TikTok's way of A/B testing your content and making sure that you as a creator are making content that the audience enjoys. Because at the end of the day, TikTok, very similar to Google actually, and very similar to YouTube, wants as many eyeballs on their screen as possible. And in order for you to do that, they want to make sure you are creating videos that people want to see. So how they control this is they have four different ways that they will grade your video. And this is from most popular to or highest rated versus to lowest is number 1, shares. And this is an arbitrary score, but I'm going to use 1 through 4. Shares are worth 4 points. This is just from my knowledge. The TikTok has not released exactly how.
Right. It's not like a handbook by TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's an observation.
This is an observation actually done by a lot of creators on TikTok who talk about how to blow up on TikTok. And this is kind of like the general consensus across all their videos is shares are the highest. Let's say, for example, they're worth 4 points. A share is anything, whenever you copy the link, whenever you click the share button and copy the link, when you share it on Instagram, when you share it as a story, when you download a video, that's also considered a share.
Okay. So share is when you share it on Instagram or any other platform, or you download it. Yeah. So it would make sense for, okay, I'm just gonna be a little, I don't know, sneaky. So it would make sense for me to share my own TikTok videos, download it, and then share it on Instagram and YouTube. They actually like that.
Yeah, best case scenario, if you have a Facebook group, a Discord server, an email list, I would put your link there whenever you create a new video and share it to your core group first. That core group the algorithm will watch how that initial push gets performs. If it scores above a threshold, then that video gets pushed on to a bigger sample size, and then a bigger one, and then a bigger one. And it's going to keep going until
tiers.
Yeah, exactly. And there's an infinite number of tiers actually, because it's going to keep going and keep going until it scores below a threshold. Then it gets dropped into what I call TikTok purgatory, because there is still potential for that old video to be reshared into everyone else's For You page.
Okay. And is like I know on Instagram, I could be wrong, but I know on Instagram, at least it used to be a thing where if you have a number of shares or saves or likes in the first couple hours or something, it's actually more effective. Is that similar to TikTok? Is there like a time frame on how fast it should be shared?
Yeah, ideally as fast as possible. As many as much engagement or activity you can get as far as possible. Now, here's the caveat. If you create content and you share it to your group, TikTok will know that, because when you so they'll look at how many times your content got shared. They'll also look at how well it performs in the sample size that it selected. If it has more shares within your own group than its own sample size, and your videos consistently do that, then it will know that you're creating your content for the group, and it will push it more to your followers and less to your niche.
Whoa. Okay. You're blowing my mind right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have like a core group of people that you're sharing it to, it will push it out more to that group, but it won't necessarily be a marketing tool where you can reach more the people.
So I don't want to confuse anyone with this statement, but really the bottom line for this is that even if you have a good group to share your content with, you should also try and create content that matches a niche that you're trying to push it out to.
Yeah.
So this way you're telling the algorithm, hey, look, I got people that can boost my videos, but at the same time, I'm also trying to create content for this particular niche. And that's how you can show the algorithm that you're doing that. The first and the focusing on the initial push is very, very good, but I wouldn't focus too much on getting on engagement the first go around. When as a new creator, for TikTok, I would just know that the first 10 videos that you'll create, just be prepared for them to flop, and then try and figure out why, and just use it as a learning use it as a learning curve, as a learning tool, because as much as we really never know why types of content will succeed, why it will flop. There could be a compounding number of factors. Like the song that we're using may be trending one day. The hashtag might be involved in some kind of TikTok trend, or you just might be really lucky.
Yeah. So fascinating. Okay, so wow. Okay. And then really quickly, so with the watermark, you were also mentioning that it's good to take it off, especially if we're going to repurpose it for other platforms, because platforms like YouTube can pick that up and then knock you out of algorithm.
Yeah. Instagram actually. So Instagram published an article actually on their own website, saying that they're going to deprioritize any videos with a watermark. This is primarily because TikTok's spread was due primarily to Instagram, because people would just share TikTok videos on Instagram, and everyone.
Now Instagram's like, oh yeah.
So this is Instagram's response, and because Instagram's doing it, I think YouTube. Well, I don't know how much YouTube Shorts is controlling that, because I still see a lot of videos that have amazing reach that has TikTok watermark. So maybe this doesn't really apply to YouTube. I could be wrong. I know that. And then on the TikTok side of it, a lot of creators are saying that whenever they share a video that they did with a TikTok watermark, it doesn't typically perform well. However, there are other videos where if let's say one person turned off duets, but you still wanted to duet their video, you could potentially, but I don't recommend it, download the video and stitch it, use a video editor to stitch it and do a response. These types of videos are really, really common in terms of in a lot of TikTok battles or wars or beefs that go on when somebody says something not, let's say, racist, and other TikTok creators tend to call them out on it. This is typically what they would use.
Okay, so they would download it, so it's not actually associated with them, but they're utilizing. Okay. Yeah.
So even if the algorithm does tend to deprioritize it, because this video is very triggering to a lot of people, the people will boost the algorithm, like boost it up. So and that way the algorithm can't really do anything about it. So all of that to say, try not to have your have your watermarks on your videos.
Got it. And then you shared a resource with me where we can use that to take that off, which I'll go ahead and include in the section here. And how are you doing with time? Do you have a few minutes or do you have to get going?
I have a few minutes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. I mean, this is so cool. I'm so glad that you reached out. So tell me a little bit about, let's do a few more tips and then I would love to hear more about you. Okay, so what else? So when you say niche specific music and trends, like what is that? How do we know that?
That, unfortunately, I don't have a clear-cut answer for that. My answer is you just have to find a niche and see what they're doing. So there are big niches and then there are smaller niches. The big niches are, let's say, for example, right now, one of the other accounts I'm managing is Jazz Mafia. They're a Bay Area-based musician collective. They primarily play jazz, New Orleans style jazz. They do covers of other songs. For them, their niche is musicians of TikTok. That's a very popular niche. There are blank of TikTok or blank Tock or blank TikTok is a really common, easy way to find your niche.
Got it. Okay. So I feel like this part is a little bit similar to Instagram.
That's actually kind of where, I'm pretty sure that's where they got it from.
Yeah.
But there are also other like smaller niches within this. So for example, let's see, I'm trying to think of a good example here. Let's say within musicians of TikTok, you have trumpet TikTok, saxophone TikTok, and all of these like smaller versions. You can quickly tell if you find a generally accepted hashtag that is on the higher level niche specific, you can actually go into, like, when you type out that hashtag, you can search, look at the list that TikTok provides you and watch all of the see all of them that kind of that the search engine spits out that has a lot less views. You can make a guess as to if that is a smaller niche that you want to jump into. Ideally, the best way to find a niche specific version is before you enter any hashtags, save your video as a draft, go into the search bar and type in what's like a audience that you want to search for. So whether it's life coaches, musicians, botanists, whatever, and see, and just type in that keyword and see what hashtags it spits out. For a good niche hashtag, try to find one that's between 150K to under a million.
To
150,000 to 1 million, like within that range.
Okay.
That should be a good number for a niche. For broad, it should be above 500 million.
Okay. 500 million. How many people are on TikTok right now?
1.5 billion.
Wow, that's crazy.
Or that could be wrong.
The largest.
Or maybe still under a billion. I think Facebook is
Facebook leading still.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's under a billion. You know, yeah, I'm pretty sure it might be under a billion.
Wow, that's amazing. And then okay, so when you say the big hashtag, it's like above 500 million, and then the secondary is like 150,000 to 1 million subscriber number of shares.
Views.
And then what would be like the last hashtag?
So the last one is called a trending hashtag. Okay. To find trending hashtags, go into the discovery tab on TikTok and look at all the hashtags that they spit out. If you click into, you're going to see hashtags and you're going to see sounds. So those sounds are also something that is something to consider, because you could also use those sounds to help give your video an extra boost of discoverability.
Okay.
you want to know, like sometimes the hashtags aren't going to be very descriptive. So what you could do is click into the hashtag, and typically if it's a sponsored hashtag by a company, you're going to have a little disclaimer underneath the name of the hashtag, right underneath their profile picture, on like kind of a little description into what the hashtag is. For example, hashtag learn something new. They're going to say something like, hey, celebrate this new year by teaching your audience something that they didn't know before. So this is, if you've ever heard anyone on TikTok saying this person understood the assignment, that's what they're talking about. This also applies to sounds as well. If there are those trending sounds on the discovery page, you can see a little disclaimer on how to use the sound. For example, recently Intel did a U2 trend using the U2 sound, and that trend was specifically on like if you've ever gone and ordered something from Starbucks, and then when they've handed you the drink, they'll say like enjoy your drink, and you say thanks, you too. It talks about this awkward situation that happens with when you do that.
Okay, thanks, you do. Okay, just kind
yeah,
of like I feel like I do that all the time.
We actually did that video. We did a really awesome video. It was at the right time. We used the right hashtag, and because of that, within 72 hours, we ended up getting about 400,000, no, 300,000 views.
Wow. And I think that's the exciting thing about TikTok, even though I have been resistant to it, is that I just learned from you that there's actually an equal amount of potential exposure to the people, even if you don't have the following yet. And I think because of that, the outcome is that you can actually go viral really fast.
If you know what to do, you're able to, like, I'm pretty sure you can hit 100 or 10K in about 45 to 50 days.
10K subscribers?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That could be my goal. I can check in with you on the plan. Yeah, that's so exciting. So tell me a little bit about you. So you are the brand community manager at Intel, and then a few other places like
so I've been playing around with TikTok for a while, and when the pandemic hit, before the pandemic, I was a community manager for a co-working space called 360 Lab SF. Unfortunately, that place had to close down because of the pandemic, since 50% of our revenue was from memberships. The other 50% was from live events. Both were directly affected. So I had to figure out how to transition my career from offline community to online community. I figured, since I am so familiar with TikTok, that I would just bank on my TikTok experience, and miraculously, Intel was interested.
Wow.
So I could say I think I'm one of the few people who can actually say that I am on TikTok as a 9 to 5 for work.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, a little bit about what I'm passionate about. I love this, ideas around like laws of attraction and how you create these opportunities. There's endless opportunities. So for you, like, what do you think went well that you manifested that opportunity? It kind of fell in your lap and worked out for you. I feel like the universe was just like, here you go, Peter.
Yeah. I think being very vocal about an emerging platform helped. Like, I was absolutely very vocal about TikTok when I first started. Like, even before the pandemic, I was sharing it, and I had so many people come around and ask me like, "Hey, what is TikTok? Like, what is this thing that you're sharing? How do you do this? Blah blah blah." So, and because of that, I kind of became that person. Like, I became the millennial that was using TikTok before the pandemic, and and among my friend group, I was like, whenever people saw like a TikTok, they usually share it to me. Or whenever people saw like something weird on TikTok, they'll say like, "Hey, can you explain to me the backstory behind this?" And 9 times out of 10, I could.
Amazing. I love this for so many reasons, which is, one, it sounds like you kind of follow that intuitive pull and you were passionate about it and you just like let that passion lead you. And two, like on a personal level, I mean, I'm not going to assume, but I think you're Asian, and a lot of
Mom gave that away.
Never know. So I feel like, a lot of us grow up kind of in this, and maybe not just Asians either, but a lot of us grow up thinking that there's like this way to do life. And this is one of the things I talk about in my book too, which is that like we are conditioned to think that there's a certain path, and you just kind of created your own path, like completely, such a creative way.
As like, and here's me speaking to like a lot of the Asian followers that you have. If you as an Asian American growing up in the early 2000s with early access to YouTube, do you remember Wang Fu?
No.
So Wang Fu.
Wait, go ahead. I think I know actually.
So they're around, and this is kind of the reason why I was so adamant about TikTok in the first place. In early YouTube, so circa 2005 to 2010, YouTube was consistently highlighting a ton of Asian creators. Philip Wang, Ryan Higa, Kev Jumba, Passion, all of the Katie Nguyen, who had a role in Better Luck Tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
All of them adopted YouTube early. And if you look at where they're at right now, Philip Wang is running his own freaking production studio as Wang Fu. They're not doing that well on TikTok, but I don't think they have to, because they're
you have your own like system of costume based on TikTok. Wow, I'm very low on that. I'm so honored you're talking with me.
But they're able to reap all these benefits because they were early into the platform. If you look at just TikTok by itself, and you look at all of these big name creators like Addison Rae, Charlie D'Amelio, Kabilame, they were all early adopters on TikTok. They were using TikTok back when it was called Musical.ly. They were doing the same thing, and compounding as the platform grew, they grew. So their success was tied to the platform's success. Their failure eventually will also be tied to the platform's failure if they don't diversify, which I think Kabe Lame is diversifying, since I see more of his content on Instagram as well as on TikTok. So that is a double-edged sword. And this is like, I think about this specifically when I think about the metaverse, because
I nerd out. Go ahead.
Just because we have to keep in mind that Facebook's meta is not technically the metaverse. The metaverse is the collection of different worlds that will kind of just be stitched together, and Facebook's meta is one of those worlds, just like Second Life.
Like a galaxy.
Yeah, exactly.
Virtual reality galaxy.
So, exactly. Galaxy. And I think about this whenever I consider buying land in the metaverse, because it's like, okay, cool. This is like, you could technically buy land, but how do we know that this particular world will be more popular than, let's say, Second Life or VR Chat or whatever one Microsoft's doing, whatever one, I don't know, HoloLens is doing, but that's Microsoft, never mind.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's at the same time, jump on emerging platforms, but also do your own due diligence to figure out if this particular platform is good or not. I like to compare 3 platforms: TikTok, Clubhouse, Discord. So
really, all the ones I'm not familiar with.
Clubhouse is a good example of a platform you should not join.
Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Okay. I know that it was pretty popular during the pandemic because everyone was, bored. And I'm not really on it anymore.
Clubhouse initially rubbed me the wrong way because of the way it was advertised. They're focused on name dropping, and I haven't heard too much about the platform itself. And that tells me that your platform is so basic that there isn't really anything to talk up. So instead, you want to talk up who's using it. Whereas TikTok advertised almost the platform itself versus who's using it, because people I heard about TikTok, well, really through my aunt, but since it's much bigger in China than it is here, but I've heard more about TikTok by just seeing other people share other TikToks not really from famous people, but just memes in general, versus like Clubhouse saying, oh, hey, we have Gary Vee on Clubhouse. Oh, hey, look, we have Mark Cuban on Clubhouse. I also like to compare Clubhouse with Discord because essentially both these apps are the same. But Discord focuses more on the platform itself, focuses more on the product, versus who's using it.
Yeah. And I feel like right now it's super important to follow like the decentralized theme. I feel like our generation is following. Like we don't want to put anyone on a pedestal. We want to have a voice. Everyone should have a voice. And like I feel like TikTok, and I have limited understanding of Discord, but I think it offers that. And I think that's why TikTok's really popular, because it allows people to join in and be a part of that community. Whereas Clubhouse, it kind of made me feel like there was like a virtual stage, right? And we're there.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is essentially like, I would say like Twitter. So Twitter Spaces is another one that's popping up.
Twitter Space.
Yeah. Intel has actually been utilizing.
So what were my choices? Millennial or Gen Z? I'm definitely the older one.
Twitter Spaces is Twitter's response to Clubhouse. So it's exactly the same as Clubhouse, except on Twitter. So Twitter has one, Discord has one, Clubhouse has one, and now Facebook has Facebook Rooms, which is the same.
It never picked up though. I don't.
It really did. I think just because the Facebook brand right now is kind of going down
all over the place.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess the kind of the moral of this story is, when looking at emerging platforms, like do some research to see if this is the right one to hop onto. If it's not professional related, look at how many young kids are using it. That's the best indicator of how much.
What do you consider young people?
Gen Z.
Okay, so after 87.
Yeah, Gen Z, and then you can argue early millennials, but I think we're at the point where whatever we're into is not cool anymore.
Yeah, it's like, is it weird that the 90s song is like the 70s songs now? It's very weird.
Yeah, I know. One time I had somebody so I currently like have my own Discord server that's like getting close to about 120 right now. And they're mainly filled with Gen Z because it's around gaming. I had somebody in the server tell me that Justin Bieber is now a classic.
What does that mean?
Like Justin Bieber, the artist, is considered old.
Classic like song
yeah.
Artist?
Yeah. And I used to joke about this. Like I was doing a joke about my friends saying, hey, how do you feel when like any of Justin Bieber's songs is going to be considered like a classic? And now it happened.
Wow.
Green Day is considered old.
Yeah.
Blink-182 is considered old. Wow. NSYNC is considered old.
I mean, NSYNC is kind of old.
Yeah, it is.
But like, wow, this is so weird. Interesting. Well, thank you for enlightening me.
Not a problem.
To the Gen Z world, because apparently I have a lot to catch up. And this was really, really helpful. And I think I'm gonna, take some notes and like share under the caption here, because there are some really powerful tips. And and you know what? And then tell us a little bit about you, how we can find you, or anything that we should know about you.
Yeah, I'll actually, let me go ahead and share. I have a Facebook group called Ask Marketers Anything. I really just started this as a way to help my friends who are creators and not marketers understand, bridge the gap. I eventually want to turn this into a community where people who are marketers help people who aren't, and the trade-off is that whoever is running their own marketing business can use this as a way to find clients. The people can go in here to get any of their marketing questions answered. I feel that's my idea. I kind of want to reignite this group again, and I want to find more people who are on the marketing side to help answer some questions. But yeah, this is a side project that I'm trying to do.
That's so cool. Yeah, I'd be happy to join, and then we'll share that in the caption. And then, by the way, I did just get a whole box of my books. So I will
Oh,
send this to
nice.
you.
Oh,
Thank you
awesome.
so
Thank you
much.
so
Yeah, I
much.
really appreciate your help with this. And this is for you know, any entrepreneurs, high achievers, or anyone really feeling lost. Not that you're feeling lost, just a good book. And you know, it's something that I'm passionate about. So I'd be happy to send that to you. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you. And
Not a
let's get
problem.
connected.
Yeah, definitely.